What's up, fam? It's your boy Kirk Nugent, and we're back with another installment of this new series, How I Do My Live Streams. And I'm kind of doing things a little out of order. My plan was to give you the virtual microphone. We did the virtual camera in the last one. What do I use for my camera? I use Ecamm. So my plan was to then step into the audio piece and how I bring in everything, what I do for audio for my videos. But the outcry has been so loud for custom backgrounds, custom layovers, custom lower thirds. What do I use to do that? The answer is Canva, and I'm going to show you how to design those in this video. So buckle up. We're coming into it right after this. So yeah, I use Canva to do my designs. We're gonna dive into the design part. I have a design to do right now for my church for this coming weekend. I'm gonna be designing the background. I'm gonna be dropping the pictures of the people who are gonna be on screen. I'm also gonna put the logo on there, but I'm also going to create the lower thirds, and I know that's the piece that a lot of you want to see. I'm going to create them from scratch. Now I have these in a template already, but I'm going to build them out just so you can see them. And if you want to check them out tomorrow on the live stream, you can check us out at thebridgefcc.com. So without any further ado, let's dive in. So here we are. I'm looking at StreamYard, and I'm going to go into my test room real quick. The reason why I'm in here is because I want to show you that they do give you the parameters. Here, if you mouse over this overlay question mark, you'll see, that little blurb comes up, and that blurb basically says, what the size is. So 20 meg max file size, 3 meg for GIFs, and then 1280 by 720 is the recommended size for overlays. And if we go down a little further to look at backgrounds, you'll see that even for backgrounds, that is the recommended size as well, 1280 by 720. So here I'm in Canva. I'm going to do a create new design. Now, if you mouse over the YouTube thumbnail, you're going to see that it says 1280 by 720. So you could easily just click that one, but I want you to see, depending on what your design is, you can just come in and put in the actual dimension and say, okay, it's 1280 by 720. So I'm clicking create new design. So that's going to open this thing up. So I've got this blank design, 1280 by 720. What I normally do is I look for, I will start with the background, and I usually stack from here, right? So I'm looking for a background, so I always try to find some stage lights that are going to be able to do that for me. And I'm seeing one here that I think will work, so I'm going to drag that onto the screen, and you're seeing that now, right? So that's one there. I make it big. I make it half the size. Now, let me tell you something. There's no rhyme or reason to some of the stuff that I'm doing right now. And by that, what I mean is, this is personal preference, fam. There's not a right or wrong here. You're gonna have to be able to do your own thing where this is concerned, right? So I pull it across to half of the screen, and then I will crop it and grab that corner. Click the crop button to grab that corner. I try to eyeball where half of the screen is, about right there, something like that. That's kind of the idea, at least. So right there, I'm gonna crop it. I hit the enter key, that crops it for me, so I'm in good shape. Now I'm looking for a bridge. I'm looking for a bridge because my church is called The Bridge. It's called The Bridge, and so I always try to have something in the background. It is a subtle hint. It's not necessarily something that people are actually going to really pay attention to, and especially because it's the background, it should be, it shouldn't be prominent. Your focal point, it should be your on-screen talent or guest. And so this is a picture of a bridge that I like. Kind of funky, got a really weird color to it. Also has a very weird skyline. I mean, I don't know if this what they were trying to do here, but this is cool. So there's a bridge, and I've got my lights. Of course, this is too big, so I'm gonna hit the crop button here. I'm not doing anything that you probably haven't figured out. I mean, I don't think I've added any value just yet. What I'm gonna show you is, so here, hit the enter key. I'm gonna just grab that. Actually, I'm gonna grab both of them because these are the background. I always do a filter on them. I put a street filter on there because I like my backgrounds to be black and white, to have a darker theme to it, so that the color of the video stream from each guest in StreamYard pops when it's on screen. So I'm doing that, and so here now we've got a background. I'm gonna group these two so that I can get the opacity right. I'm gonna the transparency. I'm gonna pull it down a little bit. Now what I've realized that now that I've done this is that my background is white. I need to change that. See, this is why doing this live on camera is an interesting experience. So I want that background to be black, because when I drag down my transparency, as you've seen already, it brings the blacks from behind it a little bit higher, which is great. So this is my church's logo. Always put that up in the top right corner. In terms of scale, I'm eyeballing this thing. There's probably somebody out there who's like, oh my gosh, you haven't even, you're not really paying attention to what you're doing and all this other good stuff. I get that is a major thing for a lot of people, but I am quite literally just putting this thing together because, again, I want it to be quick. I want to be able to show you that this can be done without spending 2 hours. And believe it or not, we're not far from being complete. I'm going to throw some text on the screen. One text is going to be, and I like to, especially for my websites, I like them to be all capital letters, and so we have that there. I like the Montserrat Classic font. That looks like it'll do, and I'm gonna make that smaller. I'm gonna make that 16, and try to grab it, pull it down toward the bottom corner of the screen, and right at that bottom of that box is where I'm gonna put it. I'm grabbing these. I'm gonna size them. They're gonna look small, and that's because of the size of my screen. So don't get too concerned with that. But I'm gonna grab them, size them to what I need them to be. This is just, it's kind of letting people know these are the platforms that we are streaming to. So just one of the ways that I do that. Now, again, need to size these a little bit more. See what that looks like. I think they could be even a little smaller. So there we have the bridgefc.com. We've got our content, our two logos there as well. So now I want to be able to put some more text on screen. Yeah, I always try to ask people that I'm doing a stream for, what is the slogan, or what is the title, or what kinds of things are they trying to come up with there. But I'm going to put some design to this. At least I'm going to try to, at least. So here, you make that much smaller. Again, it's just from the standpoint of this is going to be on screen somewhere, so I don't want this to be too huge. So I try to line it with the top there, somewhat in the corner. So here we've got, I want to add another piece in. Probably going to use the subheading part, hoping that you can still see everything that I'm doing. So I'll make that smaller. So I think this is a good font for us. Cooper Hewitt. If you're not a design person, you're not into this stuff, hey, what can I tell you, man? This is is where it's at. Now I want this color to match the red from the logo, and this is the great thing about Canva, is that it will grab your logo and color match. So you see the logo is in the side here. I'm looking for that red, and that's the red that I want. So now that I have that red on there, I see that it kind of pops a little bit. So that's good. So we're almost done. I've got the stuff in the four corners, well, the three corners. We got one more corner to go, and that's kind of the corner where I spend a good amount of time. And that is, I grabbed some elements. So an element, and I'm gonna grab this picture frame. And what I like to do again is come back up here to this color and grab that color again. If you see, now that I have it in the document colors, it's actually giving me the actual number, AB0F13. What I want to do is come back over here to StreamYard real quick and show you something. If you see here under the brand color, I've got AB0F13. So, I mean, I have it here for myself just as a cheat, but Canva does such a great job, I don't need to worry about that. So now that I have this here, I'm gonna size it to what I want it to be, because, you know, I like to cheat a little bit, man. I don't like to have to do the work multiple times. So there's kind of the size we want it to be. Listen, none of it needs to be big, none of it needs to be ostentatious, none of it doesn't need to stand out that much. So now I'm gonna copy it, paste it 2 times, and try to get my spacing right on them before I really get anything put anything in them. Now the issue is to go into my folder and see if I have the pictures of the people that I need to put on here. So this first picture is of my pastor, Pastor Green, campus pastor at the bridge. He is always in that first slot. The second picture is going to be of the speaker for tomorrow, which is Pastor Devlier Snell. And again, he's the speaker for tomorrow because we are doing a joint service, the bridge and its mother campus. So we are a campus of First Seventh-day Adventist Church here in Huntsville, Alabama. So he is the senior pastor. And then our praise and worship leader is Ebony Marks. And Ebony, if you ever watch this video, I apologize. I need to get a different picture of you, but this is the one I have, and I'm just gonna make it work, sis. I'm making it work, okay? And the last thing to do is to add some text, because we want people to know what their names are, right? So here we go. So I'm just gonna add a text box in. All right, so that's one. And again, just gonna do my cheating thing here because I am trying to keep it all uniform without having to reinvent the wheel, right? Let me also say right here that, man, if you are making these for people, you really want to make sure you are getting their names, you know, go back through and make sure that their names are spelled correctly, because let me tell you, man, I have gone to do a proof with a client and it was a disaster. One more to do. And then we'll get to the part that probably most of you have come for, which is the custom lower thirds. And we'll get that part situated here in just a second. So now my background for the whole production is complete. So now that that's done, some things that I like to do to be able to set my templates, you remember at the beginning, I went through and created a group. Well, I'm going to do that again by just coming through, grabbing both of these, say create group. I'm going to grab all 3 of these, all 6 of these actually, create group, move this up and grab these, and again group. Put the background back in place. And so what that enables me to do is, if I want to grab any one of those elements and drop them on another canvas, I just copy paste, the whole group comes, right? So that's a really good thing to do and really good practice to have. So that definitely works. Another thing, so the other thing I'm gonna probably end up doing is put a little thing on the screen that shows our Instagram posts. I'm just gonna paste that on here and size that. So it just says follow us on Instagram. So I'm gonna add a page, and so element, drop that on the screen, change the color to white. Some of you are like, what are we doing right now? We're literally making a custom lower third. Okay, so I always look for that bottom corner of the box. So now I've got that. I'm gonna drop, if I can get to the shapes, or actually frames, I'm gonna drop 2 frames on the canvas, preferably the ones that have a border on them, so that I can use that border. Okay, here's the one with the border. So there's the one with the border. What am I gonna do with that border? I'm gonna change it to the color that I want it to match, right? So there's the border. I'm gonna copy this and just paste it again. So all I'm doing is Control C, Control V. And so I'm gonna make a smaller circle. And listen, I've got like 50 of these kinds of designs that I do. I'm gonna make a smaller circle at the front of the lower third. I'm gonna make a slightly larger circle for the back. And so the slightly larger circle is gonna be for the whoever's lower third this is going to be for their actual picture, and the other piece is going to be, I need that a little bit bigger. All right, so I've just made that white space a little bit bigger. I'm going to make this it's supposed to be bigger, but that's considerably bigger. And so now I'm just going to eyeball, moving that to where, now again, yes, you can click it and it will help you to line things up smoothly. Just gonna go back to my folder, grab the logo and put that in one side. Let's say this is for our speaker, so I'm gonna grab his picture, put it in here, get it sized right. One other little hack that you might need to do is to go back into elements and just grab a circle, make it black, and place it behind, it's not a frame, but an actual shape that has a color to it already. So here's a circle. Just grab that, make it black. I'm going to make my canvas gray, because that way I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to take this, make it smaller. Man, design work, right? This is why when you build out your stuff, you have it, it's done, never do it again, you know. And then you just right click on that guy and say send backward. All right, so now I have my whole thing here. Move this into position so that it can be seen. So now we have this line and the lower third and everything like that. So now we just want to grab the person's name. I'm just gonna grab this from a different place here, and I'm gonna try to adjust that up. That's his name, right? So there's one piece, and then going to put the bridge fcc.com underneath that name, so it's, you know, there's some branding, right? We want people to know, even though he's speaking, that this is where he's from. What I always do, especially for that bottom piece that's sitting out by itself, is I come up here to effects and I make sure that it has an effect on it that allows it to stand out from the background. That's always critical. But essentially this is done and we're done. So here's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to download page 2, download page 2 by itself, and I'm going to click transparent background only. This is the key. You want the background to be transparent. Only thing you want that's going to be covering the screen is the actual lower third. What you want on the screen is the person's actual lower third, the piece that is actually designed by you to show their name, their website, their picture, and their logo. I'm clicking transparent background. I'm going to click download. Preparing your design. So that's downloaded, and I'm going to also download this background. So click there, page 1, and we say done. And this one we don't want transparent, that's why I didn't download them together, and we click download, right? And there we have, that is downloaded, and you can see them both have popped up on the bottom of my screen. I'm going back into StreamYard now, and I'm going to load in the first one, which is this item here. Click open, and in my background section, while that's uploading, I'm going to click upload and grab the background item, open that, and so now we have a background, and look how that looks. It's pretty cool, right? I mean, that's clean on camera, on screen. I'm going to try and bring another device into StreamYard so we can see what the two videos look like on screen. And here we go, enter. All right, so here we have 2 now. So I'm going to bring both of these on screen. And so there you have what it looks like. And so for me, what I like is that those lights on the left side of the screen are shining onto that person's video feed. So that's pretty cool. The other thing is, now let's say that person is the speaker. So I go hit solo layout, and they're on screen. Notice in the bottom corner here, I have selected show display names is turned off, right? So that is a critical thing to know, that this is turned off. This is turned off, fam. That's not on right now. So then what I do is scroll up to this. Now you want to name these things properly, because you know that's how you mess yourself up. So this is called the bridgefcc.com. It really should be called WSNL LT or DSNL LT or something, so that it denotes lower third. But when I you can edit the overlay name. I am not kidding you. This is the first time I have seen the ability to edit I've never seen that ability. I'm learning that with you today, fam. Wow, you can just click on the name and edit it. StreamYard is adding all kinds of stuff. And so I click there, and there you have the lower third. And so imagine a full screen with the person speaking, but this lower third is there in the bottom right corner. It gives a certain pop to it. So that's what it looks like full screen. And so when I was talking about economies of scale, this is what I meant, because it's bigger than it seems when you're actually not in the studio. All right, so this is our entire background with 2 videos on screen. This is what the background looks like. Again, hopefully it fades into the back. It's not as prominent. It doesn't look as, in your face, and allows the 2 video feeds to really pop on screen. And so that's it. yeah, I hope that this video was helpful to you. I know it was longer, but in order to get the design done, we had to do that. Man, so there we have it, you know, like that's the whole piece right there. I mean, I'm showing you everything, literally all of my secret sauce, all of my creativity. I'm giving you a template. It does require the pro version of Canva. I believe that that's the only way to be able to pull people off in the background, to be able to export a transparent image. So keep that in mind as you're thinking about how to do this. I know for a fact you can do this in other programs, and I'm going to list a couple of them in the description underneath this video. But what I want to hear from you is if you're getting value. Listen, we are on a mission to get to 1,000 subscribers, and you guys have responded in such a huge way. I think in the last week and a half, we've actually increased by over almost 100 subscribers, which is phenomenal. So here's the other piece. We definitely need to get our watch hours up. So share the videos. Share them with friends, share them with professionals, people you know that are in this space and are trying to figure out different things. People who are not necessarily media streaming professionals, people who just need these walkthroughs and these tutorials. Let's share them. Let's get this stuff out here so that we can grow this community and we can grow this channel. I'm your boy Kirk Nugent, the Geek Speaker Preacher, and I'm hoping that somewhere in this video, somewhere throughout this tutorial, somewhere in Canva, the light bulb went on and you were able to figure out how it all works. I'm going to see you guys in the next video.